The holidays were always a tough time for us, Millie, our 3 kids, and me. But this year, something changed. I stumbled upon an old thrift store in a town nearby, and there, amidst a treasure trove of forgotten goods, I found our Christmas miracle, a simulated faux tree that seemed to whisper promises of joy. It was our first tree as a family, a beacon of hope in our humble home. One night, after putting up the tree, I was quite thirsty and wanted a cold beer very much, but we couldn't afford it. But a strange impulse still led me to wish for a 6-pack. So I did. I said out loud, "I wish I had a 6-pack right now." And before I could blink, there it was, at my feet, a 6-pack and a cold one in my hand. Shocked and a bit fearful, I couldn't shake the feeling that the tree had something extraordinary about it. Returning to the store the next morning, the owner revealed the tree's magical nature, granting 3 wishes to its chosen bearer. He told me that I hadn't chosen the tree, but rather it had chosen me. With 2 wishes left, the weight of choosing wisely rested heavily on my mind. On the way home, I stopped at a gas station for a lottery ticket. The second wish, for great wealth, seemed the answer to our struggles. $20 million from the lottery win that evening suddenly made life easier. Me and Millie jumped for joy at our sudden fortune. We were finally getting the break we deserved. But I couldn't bring myself to tell my wife about the magical source of our newfound luck. Christmas morning was blissful, filled with songs and laughter. Yet, amidst our cheer, Mr. G, our bitter neighbor from the floor below, disrupted the peace. He used the stick of a broom to bang into his ceiling, as he often did, shattering our joyful noise. His bitter heart clashed with our happiness, a reminder of his constant malice toward us. Over the years, he had yelled at our children, bringing them to tears, called in noise complaints to the police on several occasions, and even hit our 12-year-old dog with his car one afternoon. He had brought a myriad of hate to our door over the last 7 years of our stay in those apartments. As the day unfolded, I grappled with the weight of my final wish. Remembering Mr. G's distress, a decision was made, a wish that, unbeknownst to my family, altered the old man's fate in an unexpected manner. The piercing sirens disrupted our celebrations as frantic paramedics carried Mr. G away that Christmas night. We stared out the window at the solemn scene. We later learned that a fatal heart attack had suddenly come upon our curmudgeonly neighbor that evening. Though acknowledging the abrupt turn of events, Millie and I shared a fleeting smile, silently relieved at the old-timer's demise. Later that evening, after the kids were in bed, we began contemplating a new start in a different state. The tale of the enchanted tree taught me that wishes, while bringing fortune for some, can carry unforeseen consequences for others. It nudged us toward a future filled with hope, hinting that sometimes the greatest gifts come with hidden lessons and unexpected twists.
Nestled among the pine trees in a snow-covered mountain forest, there alone and proud stood an enigmatic mansion that was a symbol of opulence and mystery. For several months, rumors had circulated in the criminal underworld about the mansion's untold riches, attracting the attention of 3 notorious robbers who were allured by the promise of unimaginable wealth during the Christmas season. The robbers, seasoned in their trade, meticulously planned their infiltration. They had scouted the mansion for half a year, mapping its layout and routines. Underneath the cover of a moonlit sky on Christmas Eve, the trio breached the mansion's perimeter, cloaked in the anticipation of untold riches. But as they ventured deeper into its halls, what they encountered wasn't merely money and valuables, but a meticulously orchestrated gauntlet of peril. Unbeknownst to the robbers, the family residing within had anticipated their intrusion, transforming their home into a lethal labyrinth of traps, each designed to ensnare and incapacitate any would-be intruders. The threesome were painfully unaware that their targets were far from defenseless. The criminals, emboldened by their past successes, made their fatal missteps. With every room they breached, the mansion retaliated with ingenious traps, a deadly dance between invader and protector, each corner a haunting reminder of the family's preparation. As the night pitifully unfolded, the stately mansion's formidable defenses went into action, relentlessly picking off the cocky yet hapless burglars one by one. Each trap was more deadly than the last, and the intruders were caught completely off guard, unable to defend themselves against the onslaught. The once peaceful halls of the mansion became a scene of carnage, with blood pooling on the floors and walls bearing the marks of the ferocious struggle between the intruders and the traps. The grim tableau left behind was a chilling reminder of the perils of greed and the high price of underestimating the security measures of a wealthy and well-protected estate. Amidst the chaos, a lone survivor remained, trapped in a merciless contraption, his leg ensnared in an unyielding grip. His cries for help reverberated through the silent mansion, a haunting plea amid the aftermath of his companion's demise. The family returned the following day from a holiday ski trip. They knew their home had been breached due to cellular notifications they had received, but because of the heavy-duty protection on their home, they confidently decided to wait to see the damage, if any. They thought maybe a small animal had somehow gotten in. Entering their home, they were expecting the warmth of homecoming festivities, but in shock, were instead greeted by the haunting aftermath of the thwarted robbery. They found the lone survivor, trapped and desperate, begging for mercy and redemption. His tearful apologies were in stark contrast to the mayhem of the night. The patriarch of the home slowly removed the contraption off of the man's leg. The oldest son coldly threw him a grey towel, which the man woefully wrapped on his leg, wincing the entire way, blood spilling out. Then in a chilling resolution, the family, guardians of their fortress, decided the intruder's fate. Releasing their faithful sentinel, a loyal dog trained to defend their sanctuary when home, they brought an end to the criminal's pleas for mercy. Surprisingly enough, once the mess was cleaned up and the authorities straightened out the rest of the aftermath of the attempted burglary, with a very unbothered air, the family sat down together in their beloved home to share a satisfying Christmas dinner together. The story of the silent and deadly night echoed across the town, a cautionary tale that etched the lone mansion on the hill into legend. Its lethal defenses and the dire consequences of intruding upon its sanctity became a chilling admonition, ensuring that the mansion's grim reputation endured as a cautionary tale for generations to come. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house, all the creatures were stirring, even a 10-foot mouse. The snow fell softly outside, blanketing the world in an eerie quietude. Inside the old creaking house, shadows danced to an ominous tune, cast by the flickering flames of the fireplace. Little Timmy, with eyes wide and innocent, crept down the stairs, drawn by a peculiar sound that resonated through the halls, a faint, haunting melody that beckoned from the depths of the unknown. The wooden floorboards groaned beneath his weight, protesting his advance as he followed the ghostly music, a symphony of whispers weaving through the air. With each step, the air grew colder, tendrils of frost curling around the edges of Timmy's breath. Shadows seemed to elongate, reaching out like clawed fingers from the walls, while the walls themselves whispered secrets of long-forgotten tales. As Timmy descended into the heart of the house, he stumbled upon a new door he'd never seen in the house before, aged and weathered, its paint peeling like the layers of time itself. The melody, now a haunting crescendo, emanated from within. With trembling fingers, he turned the handle and stepped into a room bathed in an otherworldly glow. The sight before him froze his young heart. A grand Christmas tree stood adorned with ornaments of ancient design, pulsating with an ethereal light. Around it, an ensemble of eerie creatures, twisted mockeries of festive spirits, danced in macabre joy. The 10-foot mouse led the revelry, its eyes gleaming with an unnatural fervor. They turned toward Timmy in unison, their faces twisted into ghastly grins. Whispers surrounded him, weaving a tale of a forgotten realm where joy and fear coalesced, where Christmas held a darker meaning. Suddenly, a gust of wind swept through the room, extinguishing the lights. In the darkness, Timmy felt icy claws grasp his shoulder, a bone-chilling voice murmuring ancient incantations. Panic surged within him as he fought against the unseen force, struggling to break free from the sinister grasp. Just as despair threatened to consume him, a faint glimmer appeared in the distance, a small flickering candle. With a surge of courage, Timmy reached for it, igniting the flame and casting a brilliant light that banished the darkness. In an instant, the ghastly creatures vanished into thin air, leaving Timmy alone with the trembling candle in his hand. The once ominous room now stood silent and empty, the haunting melody fading into the night. With a heart still racing, Timmy hurried back upstairs, leaving behind the enigmatic room and its spectral inhabitants. As he nestled back into bed, the first light of dawn crept through the window, casting away the remnants of the eerie night. In his heart, Timmy knew that he had entered a strange world where the line between holiday joy and terror became indistinct. The Christmas season held hints of a sinister tale, waiting to be discovered by those brave enough to seek out its secrets.